As a fourth-generation entrepreneur and business owner, I know the grit and grind that it takes to run a business. With Chingon SA, we're capturing stories from other local business owners and community leaders to highlight them for you, our querido community of San Anto. From the culture, for the culture. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chingon SA. My name is Luis. I'm the host of the show, and we are excited to have you back. This is season 2, man. It's so excited to jump right in and introduce you to our next guest. His name is Christopher Bustamante. He's a former professional football player turned multi-million-dollar marketing agency owner who helps entrepreneurs, Shark Tank founders, and celebrities turn attention into real revenue. After playing college and professional football, Chris taught himself content creation and video while still competing for long before short form was cool. I want to get into that, man. That seems like a lot of fun. The skill set turned into a business when he realized brands didn't just need views, they needed conversations. So today he's based right here in San Antonio and runs a full service agency helping founders bridge the gap between going viral and actually getting paid. The cool thing is, man, he's only 27 years old. So we're definitely going to talk about that. Not bad for a former slot receiver.
Right?
Yeah, man. Welcome to the show, man.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. Great introduction, by the way. You know what I'm saying? But no, it was cool, man. Thank you. Good to be here. I appreciate it.
So are you originally from San Antonio? Are you born and raised?
No, I'm not born and raised here. I've been here the last 3 years.
Oh, nice.
I was actually raised in El Paso, Texas, but I was born in Wichita, Kansas.
Okay.
But I moved when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
Went to El Paso, Texas, was raised there, high school, and then ended up going to college for football.
Okay.
Went to Wisconsin, and then right after Wisconsin, traveled a lot because of football.
Sure.
And then actually the reason how I got to San Antonio was because of COVID. So during 2020, the only professional leagues that were playing were NFL, and then literally Arena. Arena was the only, like, there was CFL wasn't like they were off that season. So I ended up getting a contract to come play with the professional arena team of the Gunslingers.
Yeah.
San Antonio Gunslingers, and played a season out here, crushed it, and ended up liking San Antonio.
Really?
Yeah, I do like it. Yeah, it's literally just like a bigger El Paso.
Yeah. I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah, so I ended up getting my own little place out here, and I loved it ever since. You're close to Austin, close to Houston. So
yeah.
Been here the last couple of years.
That's awesome, man. Well, welcome. You got here as fast as you could. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So you've been here for the last 3 years. What's your favorite? I'm just curious. What's your favorite part? I'm gonna put you on the spot. What's your favorite part
about San
Antonio?
You know what's crazy, man? The people here work hard, bro. That's what I noticed. That's one thing is I like that. One, it still feels like home, you know, so I still have that homey vibe, but then also the people here do work hard. Like, I've met a lot of different people, and whatever job or occupation they do, that's one thing I realized, like, they do work hard compared to other places.
For sure. Do you have family here now, or is there?
I do have an uncle. I have an uncle. My family's kind of spread out, but I do have an uncle that stays out here. He's also a business owner.
Nice.
He owns Moonlight Ballroom. It's like a event venue. It's like the #1 event venue here in San Antonio.
No kidding.
But yeah, so he have an uncle out here that.
Nice. Good. So you had some support while you were out here.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that like, man? Okay. First of all, hold on a second. Let's talk about this football thing a little bit, because you walked in here.
You're like,
you were
what you expected.
Not at all what I expected for a football player, man.
Yeah.
How tall are you, dude?
Dude, I'm like 5. So you'll see. So I'm 5'3" guys. 5'3".
Insane.
It's crazy. But yeah. So let me kind of give you the rundown on how all that happened, right? So I've been playing football since I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
That was literally all I did. Played it through middle school, high school. It was really good. You guys could go check me out. Just literally look up my name, everything, all the stats, all the articles will pop up.
All your Pop Warner stats?
Yeah. No, not that, but like high school, pro, college, all of that will kind of come up. So ended up going to Horizon High School in El Paso. Got a scholarship to go play in Wisconsin. Again, at 5'3", I was actually a slot receiver, so I was like, they used me for quick shit. You know how it goes.
Sure.
Kick returning, all of that good stuff. But because I was playing since I was 8, like, that was all I cared about. That was my life, right? Football. That's all I did. Ended up having a pro day where I got invited to the combine. Ended up doing really, really well, put up really good numbers on my pro day. because of that, I got invited to multiple different camps and
Nice.
being able to get contracts with the Gunslingers. I ended up playing in Wyoming in this CIF is what it's called for the arena.
Yeah.
Had a couple of deals up for the CFL, so all kinds of things worked out. I traveled around.
CFL's Canadian football.
Football League. Yep. And then played pro for 2 years, and then kind of went into the business side of things after that. Yeah.
I'm really curious. That had to have been a big culture shock, right? Going from El Paso to Wyoming, was it?
Yo, 100%. Going from El Paso, even just Wisconsin, like going to college.
Right? Oh yeah, Wisconsin.
So that helped me out a lot because going to college, when you go from El Paso, where it's like 95% Hispanic, Mexican, and that's kind of all you're around.
Sure.
You go to Wisconsin, and football kind of helps you out with that, because when you're recruiting, they're recruiting from all across the country, different states. So you're in the dorms and you're with the people from all different types of areas, right? Every color, right? So you're there, you're talking to them. So that was my first adjustment. It was like different, but it was all one thing, football. So we all had that in common. So after that, traveling and everything, it wasn't much of a shock after that, but that was the big shock, was just being different, seeing the different personalities, music, all that stuff.
Interesting. And so where was Wisconsin? Like what city was the college in?
It's called Sheboygan. Sheboygan, Wisconsin. I went to a smaller school, so it's called Plymouth, but it's like probably 10 minutes away from Sheboygan.
Okay.
So that's where it was, but yeah, Sheboygan area.
Do you know like what the size was compared to like El Paso? Was it
10 times smaller? Yeah.
Really? Yeah, smaller than El Paso.
Smaller than El Paso. Wow. Yeah, it was a small little school, cornfields type of vibe. It was crazy, man. But it was a good football school. That's why. So they went to playoffs and all these things. So that's why I committed there.
Nice. And then obviously you went pro after that, and played with the Gunslingers here in town for a couple years.
Yeah, and then I went to go play with the Wyoming Mustangs. Which is another CIF arena football team, is at a higher level, and then played there for a year, and then I decided to go full on with the business.
Yeah, I mean, man, let's get into that, right? Like you're playing football, you got your helmet buckled, what was that like big realization moment that like, hey, I'm gonna bet on myself and my business instead of your football career? Like, what was that like, man?
For sure. So after like playing football my entire life, after 2 years of playing pro, I kind of like, the money was coming in for football. But the thing with football is, especially at the arena level, is money wise, nothing's guaranteed, right? Sure. So you have your contracts, right? But also if you get hurt week 1 or week 2, that contract could look a lot different, right? That money could drop significantly. Right. So you're kind of relying on your health, and in a contact sport, you can't really always be sure that you're going to be healthy, right? Luckily for me, I was able to stay healthy, play, started, all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
But you always have that in the back of your mind. Sure. If I get hurt, how are you gonna pay bills or all this other stuff? So that was 2 years in. Got to travel, do a lot of things, but what happened was I was actually creating highlight tapes, because my first skills, I had a YouTube channel in college.
Okay.
So I learned how to do video editing. I was doing vlogs, pranks. This is more on the entertainment side. I was a college kid. Yeah. So I was doing all that crazy stuff. So I learned how to do video edits and really good at that. So when I was going pro, I saw that a lot of the guys were needing help with their tape to go back to the NFL or get a bigger opportunity. Okay. So I was the guy they were coming to do their highlights. Nice. Because I had the skill set of doing videos. Yeah. So I was charging,
There you go.
I was like, hey, I got you. Tape. I was like $100. I was like, yeah, I'll do it for extra 100. So, but we had a team of like 40, 50 people. So I'm just, boom, boom, I'll do it. So then I realized like, damn, I could get paid from this, So that was just on the video editing side of things. So that year that the season ended, my second year playing pro, I came back to San Antonio. It was off season. And I was like sitting there in my room, and I was like, what if I've been playing for this many years. What if I took a year off, still trained, and then went all in with the business of launching my own agency, which would strictly start off as just offering video editing, helping people edit their own content, go viral, and do it for business owners. Right. So I was like, let me see how it goes. And then the goal was to always go back to go playing ball, and then like have my income from the business and not worry about if I got hurt. Yeah. So that was the plan originally. And I went all in that year. I took a season off. I made the decision to take 1 year off, still train, get ready to go play next year. And fortunately it did really, really well. I ended up cold calling, DMing, I was emailing, I was like working hard, and I was just reaching out to business owners, and actually ended up landing a couple local people, ended up landing like little small deals here and there, but then I ended up landing my first Shark Tank client by the name of Calais Griffin. He is the founder and CEO of Shredskins. Got a deal with Mark Cuban, and he invented a crazy dope sauna suit that it traps all your sweat, but at the end of your workout, it's kind of gross, but at the end of the workout you could see your sweat of how much like you sweated.
Really?
You dump it, it's kind of gross, but you guys can look it up. It's nasty, but a great product. But yeah, so he was in the fitness industry. I blew up his Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, just knowing how to edit content to make you go viral and actually perform. So I blew up all his socials, and he invited me to...
You blew it up in a good way.
In a good way. Yeah, in a good way. Like, our numbers went crazy. Sales were coming in for him all across the board. And he invited me to a Shark Tank reunion. And for those of you guys that don't know, every year, all the entrepreneurs that you see go on that show, Shark Tank, they all get together once a year. It's a private event. And they kind of network, talk to each other and all of that good stuff. But he invited me to this because I helped him so much with his business. And that's kind of where my agency took off, and kind of gave me that in on that door. And
so he kind of introduced you to like
other Shark Tank entrepreneurs. Nice. And from there, I'm a really good networker. I could talk. She showed them the results, all that, and I just started like building really close relationships with that community. And that's how I got into the door of the Shark Tank community.
I mean, isn't that how most businesses kind of start? You know, like at the ground level, like the foundation, being able to build relationships with folks, and show them your product, show results, to build that trust, and the fact that you care about their brand, like all that kind of stuff, like that's like business 101, right?
100%. A lot of people they think like networking is so important. And honestly, just being in a room with people that are potentially business owners or clients or wherever your audience is of your field is really important, because even if you have a good product or like you're good at what you do, people have to like you.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
So you might be really good at what you do, but if I don't like you as a person, I don't want to do business with you.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important, is knowing who you are, what you stand for, your morals, and then also being good at what you do.
And what was your what do you think? What would you say was like the thing that attracted these entrepreneurs, these business owners to want to work with you?
So one thing about me is I'm very genuine, right? I'm not gonna change who I am or try to portray something. So I was just me. I was really genuine compared to, you get a lot of other vendors or people who run agencies or in fields, but you could tell that there's a pitch being made, right? If I come to you and I'm like, hey, my name's so-and-so, have you heard about this?
Yeah.
I didn't talk business to any of these entrepreneurs when I met them.
Right.
I talked, hey, how's life going? What's your product? And that's a key thing, is people love to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
If I ask you, you're going to go on a tangent of what you did for a living, your accomplishments. That's a good thing. So I was genuinely interested in what they did these are Shark Tank people that I'm meeting for the first time. So I'm like, what's your product? And I'm just kind of figuring it out. And then you slowly build that relationship, and they're curious too. So they would ask me, well, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you asked. And that's how it happened. But it happens naturally, and I don't just come like a salesperson.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest thing, is I actually cared about what they had going on.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say is like your main motivation for helping these business owners? Like why do you do that, right? Like why not do it for yourself?
For sure. So one thing about me is because I had started off on the content creator side of things. I was more like trying to be famous and be on the influencer side with my channel. I did really well. I grew my channel to over 20,000 plus subscribers in less than 6 months. So I kind of learned that. But I also realized like business is very different than being on the entertainment side of things. And seeing me being able to help them make money, blow up their channels. They already have credibility because they're on Shark Tank, so they have that notoriety.
Right.
So being able to meet cool celebrities and travel the world and do that, like that was more fun to me because that's what I enjoy doing. So I just wanted to continue blowing up their businesses and helping them do that, and I got joy out of that. And then now I always say, if you choose to still want to become an influencer or be that famous side of things, I think you should get the money first before you try to be. And that's where I think a lot of people kind of mess up. They try to become famous first and then make money. Because you could have a lot of followers, and I actually work with people, right? Like you could have a lot of followers and a big fan base, but that doesn't mean you're making money.
Yeah.
Right? You have attention, but you got to be able to change that attention into profit.
Yeah, for sure. I'm curious, what's your, like, I'm gonna put you on the spot again.
Yeah,
what's your favorite product that you're working with?
That's so fun. I'm gonna hear a lot of Shark Tank with my clients. It's hard, man.
Listen, if Shark Tank founders or entrepreneurs are watching this episode, man, I am grateful for that.
Oh, they're gonna watch for sure, 100%. I'm guaranteed. So nobody get butthurt when I say this, but they're all crazy products. I have so many different clients that have the craziest products you could imagine. Like, things that you really thought about that? Like what?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I would say one of my favorite products, and it's only because I actually do use it. Well, I'm gonna say shout out to Calais, but I will say is the Cut Buddy. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's so funny. It's literally a stencil. It's been around for years now. They're in Walmart, Target. Shout out to Joshua. But it's a stencil that you could like line up. You could do your own hair. So
really,
you can do your own lineup, beards, fades, cut, and you boom, boom, boom.
What's it called? The Cut Buddy?
The Cut Buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have multiple different products now, but their viral product, the one that was on Shark Tank, was the stencil, and you literally just put it so you really don't have to go to a barber. You can just do it all yourself without having to make a mistake.
I like going to my barber, man.
For sure.
It's a whole experience, right? We were just talking about this before we started recording. One of the things that I love about small business and is that we, as a small business owner like myself, right, I get to control that experience, right? Like I get to like put in the work, and I get to like put in I get to be the deciding factor of how my clients feel, right? And so I'll tell you one thing that I absolutely love about my barber is, the experience. Every single time I go in there, they know my name.
For sure.
Right. They know. I've been going to the same guy for probably 6 years now.
Wow.
And he knows exactly how I want my haircut. You know what's funny is that, quick story, man, I know this is about you and I'm making it about
go into it, bro. Yeah.
Quick story about him. Young cat, man. Young guy. Probably about your age.
Okay.
He started cutting my hair maybe like 6 months into like being a barber, right?
For sure.
And I went to get my hair cut. I didn't know anything about him. I just saw him standing outside his shop, and he was just waving at people going by. And I was like, man, that's kind of weird, but also kind of cool. Like I like that, right? So I went up to him and I was like, hey man, how much for a cut? He told me. I was like, all right, I'm looking for a new barber. Maybe I'll give you a shot. So I sit in his chair. I tell him what I want, like, kind of the style I'm going for, whatever. And I don't have like a crazy hairstyle, right? Obviously, but there's a certain way that I like my hair to be cut, right?
Mm.
And so he did it, and afterwards, I was like, man, I really wasn't happy with it.
Wow. Okay.
I really was not happy with it, and he knows this, right? So like, this isn't anything. This isn't.
He's like, wow.
Yeah. No. So we. I decided to try a couple of other barbers. I was like, I don't know, man. Something felt good about that guy.
Wow.
So I'm going to give him another shot.
Okay. I
go back to him and I said, look, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I really didn't like the way that you cut my hair. And he's like, oh, really? Like, like, tell me what can I do differently? And so, we kind of started talking through what I didn't like about it, how it, just what I didn't like about it.
Yeah.
But what I really enjoyed was the environment that you have here and how you treated me as a customer.
Yeah.
That's what made me come back. So
how you felt. Like,
yeah, exactly. How I felt. Right. And so I said, look, we're going to give this another try, but we've got to, change this up. Right. And so he's like, yeah, cool, man. And he was like very open about, hearing that feedback and, what it meant to him and that kind of thing. And so, dude, we worked it out, and he's been my barber ever since.
And that second cut was good.
Yeah,
you're like, hey,
second cut was still a little, but I knew that he was open to the feedback.
Got
right.
You. So you weren't scared to tell him like, hey, like I get this, fix this, got you. Other barbers might be like, oh, like it's a hassle.
And when you're working with different vendors and partners, and I'm sure you've experienced this with business owners that you work with. You got to be able to trust your vendor partners, man.
For sure.
And you got to be able to have open and honest communication and have a good feedback loop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even some of my customers sometimes, man, like, you know, if they don't feel that they can come to me and say, hey, man, I'm not really happy about, you know, this, you know, whatever, this
Yeah.
product or this price or the way that, you know, this claim got played out. I've got to be able to take that feedback as a
Yeah.
business owner and not take it personally, because it's not about me,
Yeah.
right? It's about how they felt.
Yeah.
And then I've got to figure out, like, okay, how can I influence that? How can I
Sure.
change it and make it better? Do you have kind of a similar experience with your clients, and like what does that feedback loop look like for you in terms of how you work with your clients?
Yeah, for sure. So back to what you said, is being able to like take constructive criticism, right?
Yeah.
For the better. But yes, absolutely, and vice versa.
Yeah.
If something I'm doing or isn't they're not liking, I want them to be able to feel free to be able to say that without being like, "Damn, am I gonna make him mad
Yeah.
or is he gonna like feel something about this?" So yeah, 100%. I have weekly meetings with all of my clients. Every client that I onboard is they. That's the thing, is I have a close relationship. You're not gonna get taken to somebody else where you see
Oh,
me
yeah.
one time and then you get an agent or
Sure.
something.
Yeah.
The reason why I do that is for that. So
Yeah.
exactly. So the person you see, the person that sells you, the person you talk to from the beginning is usually the person that you're going to be on the calls, right? Whether it's 30 minutes to an hour, whatever it is, we figure out where what's happening, what's going on, and you could feel free to tell me what you don't like and what you do like.
Nice.
So I
Do you kind of set that like expectation up front and you know, like, hey, this is what you can expect from me, you know, as your partner in this, you know, sort of venture, like, you can expect that I'm gonna, because I think sometimes a lot, or I think, you know, some business owners, they don't really know what to expect, right? They don't know what they don't
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
especially if you're trying to sell them on a service that they don't even know that they need, right? I think that's a hard thing to do, or that can be a hard thing to do. And then when you don't have expectations, sometimes, you know, it's just like, well, what are we doing this for?
100%.
Right?
I think it's really important. I didn't used to do it when I first started the agency because I was, again, I was in the beginning, I was scared that, oh, well, maybe what if I tell them this and it's something they don't like? But I think it's really important to tell somebody what they need to hear and not always what they want to hear.
Yeah,
right.
for
And,
sure.
and that's got to be open. So now every time I onboard somebody or I have a client or work with a partner, I say, hey, this is the expectation, and you got to be front. You got to be blunt with that stuff. Like, this is the expectation. This is why you're hiring me, you know, and this and this. I'll always give you my feedback. Now, at the end of the day, it's your call, right? You're the business owner. It's your baby. It's your business. I'll tell you what I recommend. If I don't think something's going to work, I'm going to tell you my expert advice for why you're hiring me. But at the end of the day, it's your call. But I think to be able to have that open communication of saying, I wouldn't do this if I was you, is really important.
Yeah. You know, another thing I think I'm a little bit curious about, you know, San Antonio's not always the loudest, you know, city when it comes to like big business or even entertainment scene or whatever. Yeah. I'm really curious, like, what drove you to stay here and to like to grow your business here?
For sure. So I've never been a big crazy party person. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I've never had any of that stuff.
Good for you.
Yeah. So I'm not really big in that scene anyways. Can I go out and have a good time? Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's not really my scene anyways. But I do like the fact the people here are different, I would say. Like, I've gone to Austin, I've gone to Houston, I've traveled a lot, and there's always something that a city or a place has that's very different. And to me, the people here are very different than even El Paso, or even like it is different, you know. But it goes back to people here work hard, and I like how people here is like they respect you. Like it's like you get that respect until you don't respect that person. Like you gotta earn it, you know. I like that aspect of it. But I like to me, it's just more that it feels like home, and I like how it's close. If I want that party scene, or if I want to go to a bigger city, it's not far. So I like that it's not always crazy packed on the roads. Like that to me is huge. Austin, I can't do it. I hate driving in Austin.
And plus their tacos suck there, man.
Right? And the food here is good. That's another thing too. But it goes back to that feels like home.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Cool, man. I'm curious, you know, you're known for helping people, you know, sort of I guess, like we talked about it earlier, you're known for helping people bridge the gap between going viral and making money, right?
Yeah.
What's a hard lesson that you've learned when it comes to really about yourself, right? But what is a hard lesson that you've learned about yourself when it comes to attention, money, or ego that shapes how you advise your clients, the business owners that you're working for?
100%. So there's two ways to go about this, right? As far as like statistically, one thing that's very important is if you have a business and you're trying to make content or any of that sort, views doesn't always mean more money.
Sure.
Right? It doesn't always mean conversions. Like if you have a video or whatever, like insurance, right? If you're selling something, you're trying to get more people, just because you have a video that hits 3, 4, 5 million views doesn't mean you're going to get hundreds of people coming in.
Yeah.
The targeting is in the video. So what people don't realize is that's going to be like, there's funnels for everything. There's a style of content and there's a reason. There's a purpose behind every video. You might have that one video to bring in the eyeballs to visit your profile, but they're not going to convert to customers, right? That's just to get the people to know you exist and who you are, right? Your content that doesn't go viral, like the 500 views or the 1,000 views, that's the content that's going to convert those people that came from that viral video to customers.
Yeah.
So that's, and people, they get caught up in the numbers, they get caught up in the views, where it's like, oh, I'm just chasing, like, I need to do better. I need to have another 100K view video.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, the reason why most people are creating content in the business world, at least, is because they want to grow their business. They need more people. They need, so if that's the case, you need to optimize for that. Create content that is not just viral, but will help people convert into customers. And that's why there's reasons on why you create certain types of content, and everything has its place. And then on the contrary, as far as just working with people, the biggest lesson is that you can't work with everybody.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing. And in the beginning, like, when you're starting, you kind of just take it because it's like, oh, damn, I need the money.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'll take you on, even if it's not a good fit. And that could actually hurt your business.
Yep.
Working with the wrong person can make you lose what you want, how you do your job, or the fun that you get from doing it, because it's not everything.
Say it louder for the people in the back, man.
It's not everybody's a good customer.
Yep.
Even though the paycheck might be good, like let's just say someone's offering you a good amount of money to work with them, that doesn't mean it's a good fit. If I know your mindset's not there, if you're not going to help me do this, or if you can't create content, or if you're just going to be a headache to deal with, it's going to save you money to not deal with that person and get better results for your other clients, which will bring in more money. Man,
I love that. That's great. That's really great feedback. I'm curious, man, like what has been something that you thought, man, this is gonna be great, and it just completely bombed, man. Like how do you deal with that, like personally, right? Because you work with so many different products and people and that kind of thing, and you put in you hope to build a good plan, right? And you hope that you're gonna be able to push them to go viral or whatever. But what happens when it doesn't work out? Like, that's got to be tough too, right?
100%. And I will say, like, it's gonna happen, right? Sure. The only way to get better is to fail. Like, you think I got really good at creating content, helping business owners by not honestly like hurting business owners? Absolutely not, But it's understanding that where you're at, right? So a big thing I like to say about this is a lot of people try to get into the space of helping business owners or marketing, and they see what they see on TV or on YouTube, and they see people charging crazy retainers or whatever, right? Oh, I'm gonna charge $5,000 a month when you haven't even done and been in the space. So people come in and then they charge that, and that's where it's like you start acting like you're something you're not. They charge people a crazy amount of money, and then they can't deliver, right? So I think if you know where you're at, if you're just getting started, it's more important to learn and fail, right? You might hurt that business owner. It might not work out, but also I'm not charging that person $5,000. If they're in a state, hey, I might charge them half that or even less than that, because I'm willing to learn, the skill set before I get involved and mess them up. So I think with me, it's like, I've had plenty of businesses, especially when I was starting, that I was kind of using them as a guinea pig. That's true. And that's the only, like, barbers, they got to use a family member. They got to test out, because that's the only way you get better is to honestly fail. So I did it with business owners, and it's just like, you got to be, I think, being honest and straight up. Like, hey, if I messed up like this, I'm like, hey, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it didn't work. I messed up. I thought this was gonna work, and just being fully transparent, because if not, it's gonna hurt you in the long end. So, like, if I had your business and I said, and I messed up something, or if we lost money or ads or whatever, I'm gonna be like, hey, man, like, I just lost $2,000 and we didn't make anything back. I'm gonna be transparent. Look, this is the reason why I did it. I thought it was gonna work, but let me make it up to you. Let me show you what we can do. So having something built into where it's like, just having that open transparency is important. And if you try to act and shy away from it, that's where it's gonna hurt the business.
For sure. I mean, I think it's important. Failure is huge in any small business, for sure. And you know this too. Like, even in playing sports, right? Like,
100%.
you're not gonna win every game.
You're not at all.
And so, yeah, I think it's important that business owners, entrepreneurs remember that it's about failing forward instead of just failing or failing backwards.
And then giving up. That's the thing. Most people, they can't take failure, so they'll fail once
or rejection.
Or rejection.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough. I mean, even for me, like, I'm in sales. That's what I do every day, right?
Yeah.
And when somebody tells me no, it's hard not to take that personal, because I put so much passion and so much effort into everything that I do.
Yeah.
It's like, dang it. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
So how do you deal with that? How do you?
It's funny, man. Rejection was like, it's something that, like, I think you need to get reps in, right? And you gotta feel it, especially when it happens the first couple of times. You're like, you're like, wait. And the reason why I got so good at it is actually, when I came back from playing pro and everything, like, I still, the agency wasn't, like, I was just starting, so I still had to make money somehow on the off season, you know? So actually, I don't know if you know, but, like, these salespeople that work, like, at H-E-B or Walmart that be selling, like, Spectrum internet and stuff, like, hey, quick question, like, and they stop you. So I did that for like a year and a half while working on the agency.
Kidding.
Yeah, so for hours, like, I'd go in at like 8 a.m. to like 6. And I mean, I'm getting rejected by nonstop every minute. Just, nah, I'm good. Or like, and blue people too, right? But you learn how to handle that. And then, so I learned quick, like, hey, boom, boom, like, people talk shit, like, say all kinds of stuff. And it is what it is, man. And I think those reps help me understand, like, every no is just a quicker way to get that yes, So every time that someone, like, rejects you, it's like, I'm one step closer to getting that one yes. So that's kind of the way I look at it. Because if I don't, like, what if I didn't? It would hurt me more if I didn't approach that person, for sure, than if I just took the no. Because I would be like, well, what if? The what if to me is worse than the no.
Oh, man, you are 100% accurate about that. You are 100% accurate that. And a lot of times that's the struggle for me, is like, well, what if I did this differently? What if I did that different? What if I talked about it this way? Or what if I put the proposal in, this way? I gave them a video proposal instead of a PDF proposal.
Exactly.
Or, you know what I mean? Like,
you question it.
Oh, man, and that's killer sometimes. But like, in my realm, in sales in general, like, it's okay to reflect on that and use it to make you better, but you can't dwell on it.
Dwell.
Reflecting is not the same as dwelling.
100%. I agree. Yeah.
Man, I'm glad you said that. That's awesome. I'm curious, man, kind of fast forward 10 years, right? So people in San Antonio are talking about your work, your company, and the presence that you have in the community. What do you hope that they're saying you changed for the better when it comes to, like, entrepreneurship in San Antonio, business ownership in San Antonio? Like, what kind of impact do you want your business to have on
for sure
business owner community?
So because I've had, like, the luxury of being around other really big brands and celebrities, and, like, everyone knows, if you're in the entrepreneur space, Gary Vee. So I was able to get around him. He has his own agency, the top agency in the world. Yeah. So, like, I've been around all this, right? So my goal right now, where I'm at and how I'm structuring things, is I want to be the guy that, like, a business needs help, or like Coca-Cola, Nike, like, I'm the agency they come to for that type of stuff. If you need sales, if you need content, if you need your personal brand made, just marketing in general for a business or a creator who needs that attention, if you're entering that field, I'm the agency. I'm the first people, you need your business to blow up, that's who you need to go to. Nice. That's the guy. So I want to be the go-to guy for that, and it takes time. But because, like, I have the people in place and the years and getting everything, it's not something that's far-fetched.
Yeah. And I mean, you've got the proven track record for it too, right? That's good, man. I'm glad to hear that. You know, I asked this question of several of my guests going into season 2. And so I'm going to ask you the same question, but the thing is that, man, you're not far removed from this, right? So the question that I ask people, kind of, you know, just kind of wrapping up the episode is, you know, if your 25-year-old self was sitting in front of you, what advice would you give to that 25-year-old? But you're what? You're 27?
At 27.
So 2 years ago, imagine who you were 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What advice would you give that 25-year-old Christopher Bustamante sitting right in front of you?
Yeah, so it's crazy because you're right. It's not that long ago, but so much has changed within the course of 3 years, right?
Nice.
So you asked me this question 3 years ago, I would not think I'm in this spot, right? And a year can change your life. It's crazy. But 3 years ago, man, nowhere near where I was at, broke, couldn't afford rent. Like, we're talking like bottom of the bottom. So now that life is completely 360 flipped, I would say, bro, like the biggest thing is to just do it. Just go, believe in yourself. I think that's the main thing is you need to believe in yourself because I'm gonna be honest, no one else is really gonna believe in you. It sounds bad, but like even your mom, your dad, your family members, like, they might act like, oh yeah, we support you, believe in you, but the truth is like, what have you really done for them to believe that you're gonna do that, right?
Yeah.
And it's like your mom, they shouldn't believe in you. There's no reason that you have. It's true. Like, why would I believe in something that I haven't seen you do over the last whatever? So you need to reinvent yourself, and that's the biggest thing. Is I would say like, hey, like no matter how hard it's gonna be, I'm so glad I don't know what I know now. So let me put it to you in perspective, right? If I would have known how hard it was gonna be to get to this point back then, I don't know if I would have got started.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad the unknown was unknown because you go through all this struggle, hardship, stress, all the stuff that you go through to kind of build a business. And because I didn't know what I know, I just kept going, oh, here's another thing. Let me get through this. But if I would have known everything I've gone through back then, I would have been like, I'm not going. I don't know if I could do it again. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I could start over and go through what I went through again. So I think having that unknown is actually a good thing.
Yeah. What does they say? Ignorance is bliss sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. And I agree 100%. So I would just say believe in yourself is the main thing. And you got to be different than everybody else. Because 90% of people, they're going to party. They're going to go drink. They're going to do what normal day-to-day people go do, right? They're gonna go live their lives, relationships, all of that stuff that is normal. And I think if you want to build something and be abnormal, you got to be different.
You gotta live it.
You gotta do it. It's gonna suck. Sacrifice is the main. You gotta sacrifice a ton of stuff in order to live a different life.
Yeah,
that's how
for sure. Cool, man. This has been a fun conversation, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show and love hearing your story. And you know, I recently started following you because, to be quite honest, we didn't know each other before before the episode. And you know, your team reached out to me and said, "Hey, we'd love to have Chris come on the show." And I was like, I don't really know who this guy is, but all right, let's do it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so started following you on social, man. Really enjoyed your content. You put some good stuff out there.
Thank you, bro.
I like your energy, your vibe, you know, all the good things, man. So I as a native San Antonian, I welcome you into the familia, man. Welcome to the family.
I've been welcomed, guys.
Cool, man. Thanks for joining the show, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining another episode of Chingon SA. We'll see you guys again next week. This has been an LIS Studio and Serafina Digital production. Be sure to like and subscribe to the show on your favorite platform. And tell a friend about the show by sharing this episode on your Facebook and TikTok. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or someone doing really cool things in San Antonio and want to get your story on our show, email us at luis@lealinsurance.com.